It's Thursday, June 27. In the headlines, a third domestic violence victims shelter being constructed. More buses underway for the JUTC. In business news, important facts about the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. Regionally, Guyana starts talks with airlines to sell carbon credits. And in sports, Reggae Boys lose to Ecuador 3-1. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport Darrell Vaz says the Jamaica Urban Transit Company Limited, JUTC, is slated to receive 100 additional new compressed natural gas buses in July.
With the new buses that are coming, that are CNG, most of them will be based in Portmore. So that will allow us to take some of the existing buses and put them on the other routes.
According to Minister Vaz, in addition to increasing the JUTC fleet with new buses, the entity has embarked on a refurbishing program that will see the company looking to introduce a number of reconditioned buses into the transportation network.
The government, with all its demands, cannot afford to buy all the new buses that we need at one time. The Minister of Finance has already committed to 300, which we have 100 landing in July, and we're hoping to order and pay the deposit on another 100 by the end of this calendar year, which would mean that by March, April of 25, another 100 new buses would be in the fleet. A new one of these Golden Dragon buses are $170,000 US brand new. These 2016 buses, we refurbish them for $70,000 US, and that includes everything: engine, interior, suspension, everything that you can think of, with a 2-year warranty.
The Transport Minister shared the information during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. He said the latest acquisitions form part of the government's efforts to increase the daily deployment of buses within the system, so as to reduce the wait time for commuters. Women suffering through domestic violence are being urged to call or text 876-553-0372 and 876-236-1713 to get help. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, reminded the nation that 2 shelters are open to victims of domestic violence during her 2024-2025 sectoral debate presentation in the House of Representatives.
The construction phase is ongoing, and work is projected to be completed by the end of this financial year. Any of us could become a victim of domestic violence. Anybody, any one of us. Yeah. But none of us should stay in that situation.
Minister Grange says the shelters are more than just a roof over the residents' heads.
The environment is therapeutic. We have counselors. We offer legal services. We have trainers who have developed various programs to help women earn and become financially independent. Women in one shelter are earning from a strawberry farm that they have established.
These shelters were established with the help of the European Union, United Nations Population Fund, and the UN Women. Choosing a summer program for children with special needs requires careful consideration to ensure the program meets the child's unique needs and interests while providing a safe, inclusive, and supportive environment. Speaking on the Jamaica Information Service's Get the Facts program, Associate Clinical Psychologist and Director of Loving Minds Associates, Marlon Simpson, shared some information on how to navigate this process. Danita Rodney has the details.
According to Mr. Simpson, two of the greatest challenges faced are finding trained personnel and teachers who understand each child's unique needs.
Usually, two main issues. One is finding persons who are trained to deal with children with special needs. So it's not just somebody who has a summer school and can do that.
So send them come.
No, that's not how it works. And so one of the other things that's going to be important is having even teachers who understand each child, what each child's need.
Right.
So even two persons with autism, for example, autism spectrum, they may have two different presentations. So we want to ensure that each child is catered to carefully in these programs.
He suggests that summer schools should coordinate with the children's regular schools to ensure the continuation of their therapy and activities.
So if we're looking at children with autism, they like structure, they like to know that the same thing, or there's a continuation. So I would say the summer school would have to get in touch with the regular school and say, hey, what are some of the things that you're doing so we have a continuation of the activities? And then also engaging the parents as well.
Right.
Because structure is essential.
For parents looking for the right summer program, the Loving Minds Associate Director shared his recommendations.
You want to look at the persons who are organizing the event or the persons who will be teaching.
Okay.
What certifications do they have in that particular area? If there's any information online about some of the work that this person has done. So you don't want to just take up somebody who has an interest in children with special needs and just does the course.
Yeah.
Right? So even the staff complement would have to include persons who are trained as well. So even they're from different disciplines, they have to have similar training.
For the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
Jamaica National Foundation and the National Road Safety Council have combined forces to create the National Helmet Wearing Coalition. The two groups have been working to change the attitudes underpinning and driving unsafe road practices among motorcyclists. We delve into the issue in this final segment of a JIS report.
The coalition's response: comprehensive training programs, teaching new riders the skills they need to stay safe.
Many of the motorcyclists are not trained to ride a bike. They buy a bike, they often don't buy a helmet. There's no law that stipulates that they must buy a helmet. Most of these are young people, 18, 19, 20, you see them around. They have no insurance.
However, riding without a helmet is a ticketable offense under Section 74, subsection 3 of the new Road Traffic Act. Drivers can also be fined for failing to have their pillion wear a helmet. The fine is $8,000 and 2 points are deducted from the driver's license for each offense. And driving without motor vehicle insurance could land you a ticket of $20,000.
Many of them are behaving irresponsibly in other areas of their life. They jump on a bike, they just went around the corner, they don't believe that it's going to cause them any trouble. And because of this, many of them die and are injured. So the first thing that we have tried to do is to start a training program. We started a training program in Westmoreland in association with the Ministry of National Security, Heart Trust and other agencies to try and train bikers to ride properly. And part of the program, part of the incentive is that once they pass the yard test in this training program, when they go to the depot at the ITA, they don't have to repeat it. They just need to do the other standard test that they do here. So it's an incentive.
With support from the Office of the Prime Minister, 10,000 helmets are being distributed. But it's not just about giving helmets, it's about changing minds.
So far, 2,000 have been purchased and that to be distributed through the National Road Safety Council. So we're going to shut this into the training program because we don't believe in handing out a helmet because most people who get a helmet will not wear it. We believe in training and encouraging and telling you how to use it and the importance of it. So between the Prime Minister's program and the National Helmet Wearing Coalition and other areas of funding, we're hoping to get a helmet on the heads of every driver in this country.
And the coalition's message to motorcyclists?
Wearing a helmet will save your life. If if you're a motorcyclist. It will save your life. Wearing a helmet is a sensible thing to do. It should become part of your whole approach to riding. Riding is a fun thing. It can be a fun thing. Yes, it is for many a means of transportation, moving from point A to point B. A lot of riders are people who are working class citizens who use their bike to ride to work every day. And there are some who really enjoy riding. So in order for you to deal with both of those issues, in terms of going to work and enjoying the riding, you wear helmets, you'll survive. You'll survive for your family's sake. You'll survive for the nation's sake. And you'll survive for your sake. So get to the program, wear a helmet.
Ride safe, Jamaica. For your family, your nation, and yourself. Wear a helmet.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. Investors will receive passive income from dividends in the coming weeks from 3 corporate entities. Fontana Limited has advised that dividends will be considered at its Board of Directors meeting on Tuesday, July 9, 2024. Indies Pharma Jamaica Limited has advised that a meeting will be held on Friday, June 28, 2024 at 10 a.m. to discuss dividend payment. A.S. Bryden and Sons Holding Limited has advised that its Board of Directors declared a dividend of 0.01323 Trinidad and Tobago cents per share to all shareholders on record as at July 10, 2024, payable on July 26, 2024. The ex-dividend date is July 10, 2024. A social stock exchange is an electronic fundraising platform that allows alternative fundraising structure to social enterprises, both not-for-profit and for-profit. In addition to that, a social stock exchange can go a long way towards inculcating professionalism, objectivity, and a culture of tracking, measuring, documenting, and reporting the social impact they are creating. The transparency and the opportunity to impact social change at a scale is clear win-win for all stakeholders in the ecosystem. We sat down with Nora Blake, manager of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, to understand more about how persons can be part of our own local social stock exchange. We are here with Miss Nora Blake, manager of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. Now, this innovation is really using the resources, the technology, the people of the Jamaica Stock Exchange to gather funds,
to mobilize
for projects, right?
Yes.
Very exciting innovation. So tell us 3 important facts about the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange that persons need to know when they're ready to make a donation.
Okay, well, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, like the stock exchange, is a state-of-the-art marketplace. So we're open for business 24/7. We are on your internet, on the World Wide Web, I'm sorry, at jsseja.com.
Okay, jsseja.com. Okay.
So at any time of the day that you would like to do a social investment, you've probably just gotten paid, or you got a bonus, or you just want to start up, making a contribution to good projects, go to the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange at JSSCJA.com. And you click at the top, the first box you will see, it tells you how to donate.
Okay.
Once you click that, it's pretty easy to follow. You can use your credit card, your debit card, any Visa card. You can use a PayPal account. You can also do a direct bank transfer. And you can also make a pledge. If you don't have the funds, but you are inclined, you've probably heard of a project and you're thinking, this is worth me investing socially, you can make a pledge. And when you click that pledge button, you will also see the bank transfer information.
All right, so the first thing to know is that you can use the technology to donate 24/7. All right, the second thing you want persons to know.
Second thing to know is that the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is going to be your eyes, your ears. We are going to ensure that every dollar that you invest socially, that you donate on this platform, is used for the purpose, the project for which you have put your money where your mouth is.
Yes.
Or even if you put it in a consolidated fund that we manage in terms of we will direct it to a program.
Yes.
We are watching every dollar because we have to get reports from the projects. Monthly reports must come in and quarterly financial reports, importantly.
So transparency is number 2.
Yes.
The third thing persons must know about the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange.
The Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is committed to Vision 2030 and to the fulfillment of those 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
And what does that mean to me on the street? What does that mean?
And I'm glad you asked, because Vision 2030 cannot happen just because Jamaica is prospering or doing well. The goals that we have set for the nation, they are stacked in the area of social and environmental needs. So if we do not, as a social stock exchange, facilitate funds being mobilized for these types of activities, we're never going to achieve Vision 2030.
All right,
How awesome is that? That we have taken this responsibility to say we will try and facilitate it because we see the need for the social development, the environment to be taken care of, and so on.
So the 3 things is that 1, the innovation and technology allows for persons who are thinking about donating,
go to
who are ready
anytime
to donate, can go online
anytime at JSSCJA.com.
Second is that this is a transparent platform. You're watching where the money is going.
And we report.
The reports come in and investors, social investors, can see where their money has been spent. And third, the development of Jamaica into the place to work, to live,
to raise family, to do business. That is not going to happen without focus and without consistent inflows into the social sector. And that's what we want to facilitate.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Nora Blake, Manager, Jamaica Social Stock Exchange.
Thank you for having me.
During trading for the period June 26, 2024, the following companies represent the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. PVC pipe manufacturer Omni Industries Limited with 4,546,653 units, amounting to 16.92% of the market volume in terms of sales. Toll Road Operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 3,082,915 units, amounted to 11.42% of the market volume in terms of sales. Toll Road Operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 3,082,915 units, amounting to 11.47% of the market volume in terms of sales. Alternative energy provider Wigton Wind Farm Limited, ordinary shares with 2,117,861 units, amounting to 7.88% of the market volume in terms of sales. Over on the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, trading on June 26, 2024, registered a volume of 106,679 shares crossing the floor of the exchange, valued at $1,100,000. $98,302 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 73 cents. One Caribbean Media Limited was the volume leader with 35,981 shares changing hands for a value of $132,410 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 8 cents, followed by National Enterprises Limited with a volume of 16,204 shares being traded for $54,095 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 96 cents. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On June 26, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $66.6 million was bought from Forex traders, while $66.4 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $156.84 and bought the US dollar for $155.15. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.69, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $2.56 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $115.85 and bought for $113.29. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $4.82, selling it for $200.45 and buying it for $195.63. For our credit report tip of the day, if you should ever have a windfall of cash during a financial setback, that's awesome. And now you have the opportunity to rebuild your credit score. A strategy that you should consider is to aim to reduce your credit card balances to below 30% of your credit limit. This improves your credit utilization ratio, which is a key component of your credit score. Paying off your balances in full each month is even better. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, Barbados is in good financial health, as evidenced by domestic economic growth in 2023. This, according to Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Alwyn Jordan. Speaking at the launch of the Health Check, Barbados Financial System 2023 report, he noted the report also highlighted 3 key areas of concern.
In terms of the macro financial conditions, we saw that in 2023, credit growth was approximately 2.5%, and that was a slowdown from the peak we achieved in the prior year of 5.9%. But to put that in context, in 2022, we had additional financing relating to government's blue loan, and that was the cause of the significant increase in credit growth during that year. As it relates to profitability, that was driven by a reduction in provisions to loan losses and improving economic conditions, while the profitability of finance companies declined marginally due to lower interest income. As it relates to non-performing loans, they improved due to the favorable economic conditions and lower unemployment. This report has greatly benefited both local and international stakeholders. And in our constantly changing financial landscape, the FSR's role in maintaining oversight and vigilance to ensure financial stability is crucial. This 2023 document continues this vital work, and we are pleased to report that our financial system remains healthy and stable.
Guyana's head of state, Irfan Ali, has announced that the country has initiated commercial discussions with stakeholders in the aviation sector regarding the sale of high-quality carbon credits. Antonio Day provided more details on these discussions and the potential impacts on the environment and economy.
A total of 7.4 million credits were issued to Guyana, and this is high-quality credit that targets the aviation sector. We have commenced commercial discussions and engagement with airlines for sale of Guyana eligible carbon credit for that market.
That was President Irfan Ali last Thursday during a press conference held at State House. The head of state told reporters that the government has signed $83 million agreement under the Guyana Utility Scheme and Solar Photovoltaic Program for 8 utility-scale photovoltaic solar projects which generate renewable energy to Essequibo, Linden, and Burris Beast. According to Ali, the government has embarked on 3 program areas that align with the Low Carbon Development Strategy, LCDS.
Restoration and enhancement of heritage sites in Georgetown, supporting mapping and spatial planning at national level, and supporting 2 flagship locations for the development of sustainable cities and urban planning.
Guyana earned the distinction of being issued the world's finest carbon credits that will be eligible for the use by airlines in their pursuit of the reduction of global emissions. This announcement was made on February 28, 2024, in an Architecture for RED transaction, also known as ART, which also informed that ART issued 7.14 million in 2021 vintage carbon credits to Guyana. The government of Guyana simultaneously announced that the world's first Paris Agreement corresponding adjustment, which was authorized and reported to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, also known as UNFCCC. The release explained that this process fulfills requirements to label the credits as the world's first that are eligible for the use by airlines toward their targets in 2024 to 2026 phase of the International Civil Aviation Organization's Global Emission Reduction Program, CORSIA, Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation. Trees, also known as the RED and Environmental Excellence Standard, issued by ART, are for the actions taken to successfully reduce emissions for forest loss and degradation, and maintain one of the world's most pristine forests through a process known as the jurisdictional RED. The government of Guyana has subsequently authorized the credits to be used for the range of compliance and voluntary purposes for Article 6 of the Paris Agreement. Antonia Day reporting for the AGP Nightly News.
Marijuana use among young people has increased, according to Cheryl St. Louis Felix, manager of the National Drug Council of Trinidad and Tobago. More from TTT News.
Mrs. St. Louis Felix said they are working towards sensitizing the younger population about the negative impacts of marijuana.
Over the last few years, we have seen an increase in seizures of the synthetic drugs. And it's not just here, it's global as well, because even in the international arena, you're hearing and you're getting the reports of the increase in the observation seizures of that particular item. So we know, trying to be, of course, because of its geographical location, there are some things that we have to be aware of.
Mrs. St. Louis Felix said, as it stands, efforts are being made through the school system to deter young people from using marijuana.
In sports, we kick off with football. Jamaica's Reggae Boys were beaten 3-1 by Ecuador in their Group B game played at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada on Wednesday. The loss was a second for Jamaica, who lost 1-0 in their first game against Mexico and fell to the bottom of the points table. Venezuela beat Mexico 1-0 in the other match of the day. With this win, Venezuela now stands on 6 points. Ecuador and Mexico on 3 points each in the group. In news from cricket, standout performances by Stephanie Taylor and Afi Fletcher saw the West Indies women's team level their T20 series versus Sri Lanka at 1-1 following a 6-wicket victory in Hambantota.
The Sri Lankans began their innings on a positive note thanks to Vishmi Gunaratne and Captain Chamari Atapattu, who scored 24 and 16 respectively. A star bowling performance by leg spinner Afi Fletcher, who took 4 wickets at the cost of 28 runs to restrict the home team to 89 for 4 after 14.2 overs. Due to the rain, the Windies chased a Duckworth-Lewis Stern method, adjusted target of 99 in 15 overs. Taylor and Captain Hayley Matthews gave the visitors a positive start, scoring 44 runs in 6.5 overs. A 24-run partnership between Taylor and Shemaine Campbell was enough to see the Windies get 99 for 4 after 14.1 overs.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.